Or let's say she even slow to believe, extremely slow. Paul's saying, and she be pleased to dwell with you. Be the bigger man. Be the more righteous man. Like you might see she's slack on following the Most High. You might see that she don't even care care what the Most High even talking about. But if she gonna be faithful till you, keep herself chaste, Paul is admonishing us to stick it out with him and don't put her away because she can be won over. She can. Go ahead and read.
And the woman which hath an husband that believeth not, if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him.
Same thing. Go ahead, just vice versa. Read.
For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now are they holy.
Read.
But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart. A brother or sister is not under bondage in such cases, but the Most High have called us to peace.
Okay, we're on the last four precepts now. Let's get to First Peter. I'm sorry, Ephesians. Let's go to Ephesians first. Read something out of there real quick. Ephesians chapter 5. We're going to read verse 21. 31. Go ahead.
Ephesians 5 and 21. Submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of the Most High. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband, as unto the Lord.
As unto who?
As unto the Lord.
Wives, submit yourselves to the husband, as unto the Lord. See that? He started off by saying, submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of the Lord or the Most High. That's why that fear thing is a factor. Because he wants us to dwell with our wives according to knowledge. Everything is in order. Man, woman, child. So wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands as unto the Lord. That's how much you're supposed to be submitted unto your husband. As if Christ was speaking to you. You understand? Go ahead.
For the husband is the head of the wife.
That's the order. Go ahead.
Even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the Savior of the body.
So there's nothing men could do against Christ. Speak against them, that's ill-advised. Act out against them, also ill-advised. Because he's the head of the church. So those same attributes should be coming from from women to the men. Speak out against them, ill-advised. Act out against them, ill-advised. That's why I read to you what the wise woman said out the Josephus piece. Keep going.
Therefore, as the church is the subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husband in everything.
In everything. Go ahead.
Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it.
That's what I spoke on earlier. Men, get that fear of the Lord in your face. Okay? Your wife needs that from you. Seriously. She needs that from you. That support system she could really use. Okay? Go ahead.
That he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish. So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loveth his wife loveth himself. For no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourisheth and cherisheth it, even as the Lord the church.
So Paul is admonishing us, men, nourish and cherish your wife. If she acting out against you, try not to be like a lion in your house, you know what I'm saying? Just running around roaring in every room. But acquire that fear of the Lord. Look to last week's video. Brother B did a teaching on praying and how to get more an effectual prayer. The righteousness is on you. But to be more effectual in your prayer, go back and check the last week's Justin TV. It was real key and vital for the day and time that we living in, that we learn how to pray. What verse did we leave off at? No, let's jump. Let's jump. Let's go because we're getting long in an hour. Let's go to First Peter real quick, chapter 3. Sorry to keep y'all so long. But as you see, this is an in-depth topic that people really don't cover. Of course, we know Christians and Catholics is just dead. Um, so from here, we're just trying to raise the bar because we came over here to live the kingdom life. So we're raising the bar. It's not always about African deception over here. Heck, the other day I had to renew myself on who the 12 tribes was. That's sad, but I ain't had to argue it in a while. It's been about 5, 6 months. We're gonna start at verse 1. First Peter chapter 3 and 1.
First Peter 3:1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands,
Uh-huh.
that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives.
That's why we pulled out the Apocrypha where it said, if there be kindness, comfort, these things in your tongue, then is your husband not like other men. Then I showed you Nebal, a man who did not follow the Lord whatsoever. So now I want to pull this back out of Peter again. This is directed to the wives who may have a husband who chooses not to follow the Lord. Okay? Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word. So we're talking about men who don't even obey the word. That's what this chapter is starting to talk about. Men who don't obey the word at all. Okay? He's saying that they may be won without the word by your conversation. So if Peter dropping a check on the holy woman or the woman of Israel who is seeking this truth, if he's dropping something on you about speaking kindly and speaking supportively to a husband who has nothing to do with this truth, how much more one that's seeking this thing? How much more one that's going about to help the brethren establish the kingdom? One that's out here doing the works. How much more should your tongue be respectable and more agreeable to what he's doing? Verse 2.
While they behold your chaste conversations coupled with fear.
There you go, talking about the words of a woman again. So apparently the scripture is making this kind of something we need to lay eyes on. Read.
Whose adorning let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting of the hair and of wearing of gold or putting on of apparel, but let it be the hidden man of the heart, in that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of the Most High, of great price.
Verse 3, whose adorning, let it not be the outward adorning of plaiting of hair, wearing gold, and clothes. He's not saying you can't do these things. What he's saying is don't let that be your makeup. Don't let that be the thing that you're trying to use to please your husband. Of course, do those things to please your husband. Of course. That's why we read in the Apocrypha that the beauty of a woman cheereth the countenance of a man, and he loved nothing better. So if you're a wife and you're listening to this, of course, be those things for your husband, but don't let that be your makeup. What he's saying in verse 4, but let it be the hidden man of the heart. You understand? He wanted to be an inward work to produce what? The ornament of a meek and quiet spirit. It really, I really have to join forces with probably the majority of husbands, but I'm gonna join with the scripture and say to the women, that's like the politest way I could put it. Just because you can say things at times, don't mean that you should. It's no disrespect. It really just means that you should. How many times have you had a man cut his eyes at you because you said something that you thought was simple? Like, all I said was, that don't mean, just because you can, always don't mean that you should. There's something in men who really, our reaction toward that hasn't been comely. And I don't think it's going to be if the Lord is directing y'all toward that. You understand? Read verse 5.
For after this manner in the old times, the holy women also who trusted in the Most High adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands.
So in the manner of old, we're speaking of holy women, not just any women, holy women who also trusted in the Most High, adorned themselves. So they did adorn themselves. They did. They adorned themselves outwardly and in a meek and quiet spirit. Because we're about in the next verse, we're going to read about Sarah. But when you go back, they tried to take Sarah from Abraham a few times. She was a cold piece. You understand? read, verse, read verse 5 and then 6.
For after this manner in the old times, the holy women also who trusted in the Most High adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord.
Stop. Read that verse again.
Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord.
So we're talking about a holy woman. Just so happened they bring up Sarah, who was a holy woman. And it says Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Yah, which is Lord in Hebrew. You understand? It's not that we worship this almighty Yah. It's that, like you see us sitting here, Yah number one, Yah number one, Yah number two.
Right the first
That's right. Call me Yasharallah. Kings and priests, you understand? So what she said was, she even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Yah, read,
whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well,
whose daughters you are, as long as you do well. Read.
and are not afraid with any amazement.
And are not afraid with any amazement. If it's something that your husband asking you, most of the time just do it. Especially if he's a man in the kingdom. It would just help. Things flow smoother. You understand? He don't always got to give you understanding of why he's saying or what he's saying or asking what he's asking or demanding what he's demanding. Might not don't even have to show you the benefit to it. Sometimes you might just want to do it because he asked. Like, for example, we just had the Feast of the Passover. It behooved us to keep that feast. Because what we don't know, what the Lord did not tell us, is that when you take a 7-day time period and stop eating stuff with leaven or yeast in it, there's a natural cause in your body for cleansing. And it decreases eczema. I think that's the name of it, right? It increases your risk of eczema and other little skin diseases because for that week time, you had no leaven in your body and your body began to produce a natural thing that removes those diseases and what's the word I'm looking for?
Purified.
Y'all get what I'm saying. Y'all get what I'm saying. It removes those burdens, you know what I'm saying, those diseases from you just through obedience. Now the Lord didn't tell us the benefit of keeping the Passover. He just told us to do it. You understand? Just do it. And it was up to us to obey it. And through that obedience, we receive a blessing of health. Okay, infirmities. Dang, that's the word I was looking for. Infirmities. All right. Now let's get on these husbands. Verse 7.
Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife, as unto the weaker vessel, and as being hearers together of grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered.
That your prayers be not hindered. Wives, fellas. Okay, let me go wives first. The reason I'm admonishing you to really get into these things, and it's not to disrespect you, it's not to treat you as nothing, it's to show you holiness, it's to show you what holy women was on. And at the same time, it will allow us to honor you as the weaker vessel. Because it will show us that you're operating in your realm of authority and not trying to be higher. We've all been Willie lynched. You understand? I think it's a curse in the Bible. It's Jeremiah 30 and 22, I believe. It says a new thing has gone out on the earth. The woman shall compass the man. I'm going to pull that out later in some later studies. It says the woman shall compass the man. So these are things that we need to reverse and change around. It's not that we're against our women. It's that it's on us, the men of Israel, to order the kingdom, to order the house, to show the goings and comings, to show the form of the house, that the house be holy. You understand? Read verse 8.
Finally, be ye all one mind, having compassion one of another, love as brethren, be pitiful, be courteous. nor rendering evil for evil.
Not rendering evil for evil. That's saying don't no eye for an eye because you did something